The battle against fitness standards seems to continue forward as it looks like people are saying it's degrading as it's 2022 and about to be 2023. And it seems like we just can't get this right. And the Navy is now under fire for some of the newest announcements that they have made in reference to their fitness standards. Now, a lot of you guys will say, Nicky, this is not news, man. This is old. I took a break off, let a boy breathe, let a boy get a little time to himself. I finally have some thoughts and I want to cover them here. So this is the new nav admin, which is like just to give you a heads up what's going on. So it says the nav admin announces a single physical fitness assessment cycle for calendar year 2023. Mind you, previously it was twice a year, every 6 months, with at least 4 months between the one previous to that. So you could have that small gap depending if you're in a very cold climate. Now it says the PFA cycle will be conducted from 1 February to 30 November 2023, in line with reference A through C. And then it says you got to put it all through the cycle. It says your command fitness leaders and assistant command fitness leaders will enter official CY23 PFA cycle results under this label in PRIMS 2 and retain official body composition assessment and physical readiness test score sheets for 5 years, in line with reference A. And it also says that they were supposed to remind to log in or whatever else because they don't want to be locked out. It says sailors have access to their physical readiness historical data through My Navy portal, My Records, and will electronically submit their physical activity risk factor questionnaire, which is to say that you won't die during it. And it says there will be no excellent or above incentive exception for 2023. To give you guys some context for that, 2023 is only going to have one cycle. Previously, before that, when there were 2 cycles, they would allow people to do what they would call validated. So if you got an excellent or above overall on your scores, you could then be able to validate it and not take the next following one as like a good reward for you doing so well compared to what those test scores were and everybody else. However, they're saying here, but that the commands are encouraged to use incentive programs for the physical readiness program, including special liberty, award certificates, etc., meaning you could get the day off if you do really well. And then it also says here, which I'm going to go into, it says that the fitness report and evaluation guidance, what we are using to guide whether people should be advanced or not advanced within the ranks. In line with reference D, command should enter a 1-letter code indicating the result of each official PFA conducted during the result period in Block 20. Now, on this evaluation, I'm going to go over it. You get a P for pass, F for fail. There's a couple other codes, but just know those are the 2 main ones you're worried about. You pass or fail. Everything else, you're looking at like some kind of excuse for pregnancy or whatever else, right? Deployment, who knows? So when I look at this, I say, I could be very outraged, right? And you're probably looking at Nicky, the Navy guy, and you're like, of course, you're the one talking about fitness? Yeah, I am. Okay. But I also want to say on top of that, as someone that's been with the Marines, I've seen cultural differences that have been applied, right? You look at the Marine Corps, they're working out, go on any Marine Corps base around 6:15 in the morning. You're going to see people running around green on green. Go to a Navy base, there's a Starbucks with a line and people are pissed because they can't find parking near their ship and they just want some caffeine. Those are 2 very vastly different cultures which don't have the same emphasis to them. I told you there was 1 letter that indicated the difference between pass or fail. That's it. That's all that matters. So whether you pass by a little bit, you pass by a lot, the same result happens. You pass, you can now advance, and you can promote in the Navy. Whereas the Marine Corps, their score, if you're a first class, second class, third class, PFT, CFT, that matters if you actually promote. So you could get mad about how many fitness tests are being done per year, but realistically, you're not really creating this cultural difference. Now, in contrast, where you have something like the Space Force, for example, where they are not even conducting a fitness test. They are only allowing people to log onto some app. I've never done it before. I'm not a Space Force guy. And allegedly, they log their hours in which they're PTing and allowing themselves to be fit. And you know, I look at it of longevity, right? And the Navy and the Marine Corps have 2 very different problems. Now, as far as the Navy, there's a lot more work involved that people don't really know about that interrupts culture, especially being fixed in a place like a ship, for example. And then the Marine Corps, for example, has this longevity issue where it's like they have people that are being attritioned so quickly after every enlistment when they first come in that they're not staying in, and they're usually pretty young and they're okay to move forward. So were we more fit? Did we see any improved benefit by having a cycle twice a year? Did we have people that were actually more fit then than they are now? I don't think the data supports that, but I also have to say that like the numbers of fitness tests, besides the Marine Corps, have gone up in difficulty. Everyone else, from what I've seen, has pretty much stayed the same except for the Army. You get the whole ACFT, which is a new test. I don't want to go into that because that's a big thing to go through and is a can of worms. But like for the Navy, it hasn't really changed. So I have to ask, is it just the people coming in, the culture of outside from the pool of applicants? Little Timmy has to come in and be able to do that fitness test. Now, at the same time, little Timmy has been paid, he has been trained, and he's ready to do the job. However, the question is, does that physical fitness aspect have any true applicability to Timmy doing his job on that ship on a weapon system while he's sitting in a chair as a sonar guy or whatever he's doing? That is a vastly different question that many people outside the Navy don't really understand too much. And it's a question of like, I understand there's benefit. I would never tell anyone to not be healthy, but I also would tell somebody like, I don't know the cost-benefit analysis of kicking Timmy out for not being able to run a fitness test. That is something that the military in general is trying to battle through and see what they can do to keep this force up, because I don't think that they're going to have much appeal if you're going to the Marine Corps side and people are already pissed off about work-life balance, quality of life, and all these other things that are going on. And I know the old timers are like, back in my day, you just had to suck it up, dude. If you didn't suck it up, you're a piece of shit. Dude, come on, man. You got to conform to the military. I get that. Yes, to a degree. I understand that. But that is a cultural shift that's happening. And now what we're seeing is the military is having to almost bend over to the beck and call of a lot of the people that are joining and what they're expecting out of their military service. Because all of these things that used to be there, the 20-year retirement, the healthcare, all these things are being dwindled away. And that's a series I'm covering as well. But I want to let you guys know, that is why you're seeing this issue come up. It's because they're trying to say, how can we keep people in? What is the way that we can make their lives better? Are we getting any benefit out of doing two? Okay. How much time are we putting towards that across the entire military? Who knows? Can that manpower be used as something else? Could we just implement an idea that people actually go work out for an hour a day and that be part of their work day? Like what would be expected from the military? If anything, I think every good idea fairy's just piled all of these things. And now we have all these people overtasked to where the basis of what the military is no longer here anymore. It has been eroded. It's been degraded. And it's just for safety regulations and compliance. It's for BS inspections. It's for training, whatever you want to come up with it. But these all have culminated into this culture, and eventually some of that has to be peeled back, and I think that will take decades if they want to make any changes. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. If you like this topic or anything else, please hit me up on Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.